Hello everybody, and this is going to be another game between myself and someone that I met at the Caster Cup named AcKilles. Both of us are playing Protoss, spawning on the opposite ends of Metalopolis in the north and south. Um, this is actually one of the very few replays that I'm able to post now, because a lot of my replays have been totally rendered useless, basically, because of the fact that Blizzard won't allow you to watch older replays. There's a bug in the program and it's stopping me from casting any of my older videos. So both players making their first pylon. Doesn't look like there's going to be any proxy or anything, but we could never tell right away in the early game. When it's a Protoss versus Protoss matchup, I usually prefer to go 2-gate because it allows you to fight back early pressure, but also it leaves everything else open. You can tech up into pretty much anything from 2-gate because it's not that much of a commitment. So I'm scouting now, so is he. I think just by seeing my probe he already knows where I was coming from. I have a gateway going down. Looks like it was a 12 gate and the 13 assimilator. AcKilles with just a gateway. But he is a worker ahead of me. AcKilles putting out his second gateway now, no gas yet. I'm actually farming gas right now. So here comes my probe. I'm going to scout the base, see what I can see. Right away, at this point in the game, since it's already about 3 minutes in, you can tell what the player is planning on doing. So I see 2 gateways and no gas, so right away I'm assuming maybe he's going for a fast expansion. Maybe he's going to be pumping a lot of zealots and just putting a lot of early pressure on me. I don't know, I'm going to have to see. Canceling the assimilator. It wasn't worth the money to leave it there. I knew it would just be taken down by the zealot. Pulling some probes off the line. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that if the probe isn't doing anything in your base and you have a zealot there, just get him to chase them around and try to keep your probes on the mineral line. If we look at my base, we can see that the cybernetics core is going up. And I have my second gas. AcKilles still hasn't gotten any gas, and he is supply blocked right now, but he's gone 3 gateway and a cybernetics. AcKilles sending over a zealot to my base. I want to check out what I'm doing. AcKilles has a significant harvester advantage over me. I'm going to see how that turns out in the later game. Hopefully I can bring the harvester count up to even, or even past him. So right away I got my stalker out as soon as my cybernetics core came out, because stalkers are very, very useful against Protoss early aggression, because if he's just sending zealots, a stalker can kite zealots around all day long and never have to worry about dying, because zealots just aren't fast enough to keep up with the stalker. But if I were to be just a zealot army, he could simply outproduce zealots and go into a more aggressive stance and try to end the game earlier. So it's always good to get out the cybernetics core units, but also get at least a few zealots just to take the brunt of the damage and be your tanks in the front. They're also great for blocking your ramp. So AcKilles here going 4-gate. We're very likely going to see very strong aggression in a few minutes. He just needs to start pumping and get that warp gates up. So I'm moving out now. I want to see what's going to happen. I already have a robo up and I'm getting a warp prism right away, and I'm also getting a Twilight Council. Put the army tab. We can see that our armies are almost even, but he has a little bit more than me. Still running off of 2 gates and 1 robo. And it looks like I'm setting up for an early expansion. Because I see that he's not expanding, and I know that now is the perfect time because I just attacked him. I got rid of the probe, a pylon, and 1 zealot. So didn't really do too much damage, but I didn't lose anything either, but he did. So hopefully this makes him maybe want to sit in his base a bit longer, give me time to macro up, get that expo up, and be ready. Because if he attacks later on and he has an expo, his economy will be far inferior to mine, and it won't allow him to beat my army because I can just simply outproduce him. So I have a Twilight Council right now, but I really haven't done anything with it. Getting an Immortal out, and I'm loading up this Warp Prism. So we're going to see what I'm going to do with it. Not much going on here, just macroing up. This is something that you shouldn't do. You shouldn't have too many probes on your line. When you see them like clumping up like this, it usually means that you have too many. And like at this point, Achilles should have really known that instead of pumping out more probes, he probably should have just expanded so that the probes that he currently has could be mining efficiently. Because at this rate, there are a few probes in here that are wasting time, being lazy probes. I got an observer up here so I can see his army. My dropship is positioned to enter his base. But at this rate I'm thinking I should wait till he moves out so that if I'm going to do the drop and attack his line, at least he won't have an army in his base, and I'll catch him off guard and make him possibly turn around and not attack my base. So expo's up, starting to saturate it, but only 1 probe here, so not much action. Robotics Bay up, closest right away, and Thermal Lance being upgraded. So I'm going to be transitioning into Colossus with the ground army. That's why I got up my 4th gateway. It'll also allow me to keep up with his 4 gateways that he has, so I don't want him to be able to outproduce me. Because even if I have a better economy than him, if I don't keep up with the gateways, then it's worthless because he can just produce more than me. Still has no observers or cannons. Let's make it a cannon now. Very interesting how he got 3 forges though, and he's upgrading all the upgrades, which is never a bad thing, but I'm thinking maybe 3 forges was overkill. But it's up to him. I mean, if he has the extra minerals, but I really think that maybe 2 of these forges could have been cut and he could have had that expo a lot sooner. So it looks like he's going to finally move out my base and kind of just macroing up, getting this mineral line saturated.